Oh, hey there, and welcome to the Ope Eh Three-Way Pro Wrestling Podcast. On this, our episode 50. Cue the Scott Steiner whistles, sirens. Woo! Episode 50,
Oh,
boys. How we feeling?
beautiful day in Wisconsin.
Close enough. Yeah, it's been one. At least it's sunny out now. At least we're not getting, drowned like Noah. But, well, Noah at
Yeah,
least had an arc.
I was in Illinois for that, so
Oh, well, good for you. I mean, not good for you because Illinois fucking sucks. And I'll say that on this podcast, at least until we get someone from Illinois on the podcast. But
not going to disagree.
yeah,
Things cost me an extra $3.
I can't speak to either of your states. So, that being Wisconsin.
because you never come over this way, Don.
I go to the good states. New York.
Don, we were supposed to go
Nevada.
camping.
Wisconsin is a good state.
Oh,
Don, we're going to the Northwoods. We're going camping, right?
that sounds awful to me. I'm a city boy.
Wow, you're awful.
We'll take it.
You
We'll
know
take
what?
it to the Wisconsin Dells,
Yeah, how about that?
What's that?
world's largest water park,
That
which
doesn't
really
sound
is
too
just
bad.
a bunch of water parks all together.
That doesn't sound too bad.
So we get drunk and go on the water slides. Yes?
It's possible. This is post-wedding, though. All my money is
Oh.
tied into a wedding.
Yes. Understood.
And WrestleMania.
That's
Maybe.
even a maybe, honestly. It's funny because we were talking about that today because we got that email from Priority Seats or whatever saying, put your deposit down for your $7,000 tickets.
Uh-huh.
Marta's like, are we going? I'm like, well, we're not paying for those tickets.
Oh, the on location ones.
Yeah, the on location ones. So,
Yeah, I'd wait that out.
yeah.
Personally.
I'm going to see what the normal box office price is before we commit. But we got a cheap hotel at the very least, so there's that. But
There you go.
any
Damn.
oodle. That's a later problem. A current problem following us on our social media. That's Twitter
That sounds very problematic.
/X / all the other ones. I'm not going to list them all. You know where they are.
I do want to quick give a shout out to our buddy Wells Mania, Kyle Wells. He recently just hit 10,000 followers on TikTok. I'm happy for you, my man.
Hey. Also, if we double Ben Bishop, we're going to be chatting up with him at the Brawl at the Beer Hall in Milwaukee come October 5th at the Lakeside Brewery there.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, quite. I'm pretty stoked about it if I do say so myself.
Interview number 2 or 3, if you count with our buddy Adam Wilburn. But that was more of an impromptu post show.
Yes.
Something to that effect, yeah.
And it is unofficially official. It'll be officially official when I buy tickets, but I will be attending AEW All Out in Toronto.
Attaboy.
So
That's going to be a hell of a show, I
that
bet.
has basically been decided. So if you are going to All Out,
Yes! I love that!
then feel free to try and find me. And Marta. Marta will also be there. She'll probably be squirming at all the blood that will be shed at that show, which I'm sure there will be plenty.
That makes sense. that tracks.
Yes.
Yes.
Are we going to cover our typical stuff on this podcast at this point now?
Yeah, I
At
think
this
it's
point-
time to talk about the past.
At this point,
instead
do you
of the future.
mean
Did we all
I
click
missed
the
you.
button at the
Certainly
same time?
Look at that sync, boys. Wow.
Oh, that was awful. Ah.
Well, we'll jump back to 1994. The first ever ECW Hardcore Heaven show takes place. In the main event, Terry Funk versus Cactus Jack somehow ends in a no contest due to interference from the tag team Public Enemy.
What the hell?
Didn't even know that was possible in an ECW show. But
Not
that's
in
not
Hardcore
what we
Heaven.
remember. Infamously, Terry Funk would ask the audience for a chair to hit Public Enemy with, and the audience would flood the ring with chairs,
Ah, yes.
covering Public Enemy.
That was fun.
That's
What
what
a
really
fucking-
turned me on.
What a fucking visual.
Yeah, that's what turned me on to ECW when I first saw that. That's like my first like real impression of ECW in a visual sense.
We'll jump ahead to 2005. I'm going to make Brandon real happy. We're talking about a little bit
yes.
of ROH.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Back when it was an
Here we go.
alive promotion and not a dead promotion
Yes.
like it is right now.
Well,
Yeah, I can't wait for the nostalgia bit.
we're talking about one of its, I believe, 5 Hall of Famers. CM Punk would have his final match in Ring of Honor, famously coming down with tears in his eyes to face his then friend Colt Cabana, and where he would win. I mean, they're not friends anymore.
They sure aren't.
That is public knowledge.
They sure aren't.
And then we'll jump ahead to 2018, where sadly, WWE Hall of Famer, father of Natty Neidhart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, would pass away. Rest in peace, you beautiful, beautiful man with one of the best beards of all time.
Best goatee beard of all time, I would say, in professional wrestling. Iconic.
Professional wrestling, yes.
Iconic.
If we're talking like just generally, Walter White does exist. So
No, give me a break.
Breaking Bad's greatest TV show of all time.
That's weak sauce.
Not compared to the Anvil.
No.
No.
That's like the 5th most thing he's known for. He's known for his hat more than that.
You know what? Shut up. That's
Yeah.
my response.
Yeah, you know I'm right.
I know you are, but I'm gonna shill Breaking Bad whenever I can. But we're gonna shill some other stuff. Me and Donnie are kind of, this is a Brandon thing that he came up with. Brandon, take the wheel. Let us know what we're doing today.
Okay, well, I figure it's a little bit of a coaster today. Been seeing the WWE draft on the board as a hypothetical for a while, but I mean, who knows what the fuck a brand split is anymore these days? Am I right, boys?
Non-existent.
It hasn't existed at all.
On that note, since the draft is effectively AWOL, I figured I'm in the mood. You guys can come along, have fun with this one. I'm thinking, what would it be like if we were to take WWE, we're to take the other show we cover, AEW, right?
Yeah,
and we
okay,
do a
good,
little
good.
bit of draft ski.
I'm glad you clarified that it's AEW that we're the other show, not other brands.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
want to cover
thinking-
the other brands as well. Respectfully, Brandon.
No, it's we gotta keep it simple, right? I mean, I got my own little sidebar piece for all that goodness. But yeah, so I'm like, it's the Ope Eh 3-way, right? So we take 3 individuals, teams, what have you, take them from WWE, put them in AEW, and then figure with those individuals, teams, singles, what have you, who do we want to see as who would be your top 3 matches that you'd want to see with each of these in the other company? And this goes vice versa too, by the way. So AEW people, you shove them on over to the Fed and you just make some matches. You kind of go crazy with it, right? Or as crazy as, this beer will allow me.
In fairness, I did not have 3 matches for each person planned that I was moving over, but
that's
I more or
fine.
less have 1 for one and then 2 for another.
Sure.
I needed some admin on this beforehand, and so I got 3 people or 1 team and then 5 singles competitors. And it's kind of appropriate we're doing this. Our buddy Jimmy from the Q from Stash Club Wrestling recently just did a little video on it as well. But it was for sure for Edge coming over for 1 match for the Cena retirement tour. So,
that's a given.
Shout out to Jimmy as always. He's a good dude. Get him on the show soon, hopefully.
Yeah, that big handsome boy.
That he is. Brandon, you want to start us off, or how do you want to do this?
Cool. So I mean, I figure since it kind of makes sense to do so, start with who we like in WWE and who we want to see over in AEW. So for instance, I'll start. So I would like to see Dragon Lee in AEW personally. I know they try to hype him as the future of Lucha. I know they have him a very effective bilingual speaker, right? He's extraordinarily talented. We all know this, but I feel like he's not really being used that great, except for being El Grande Americano fodder for the last several months. So
High
Dragon Lee,
profile role to be El Grande fodder.
Yeah, I
but for
mean,
like
legendary
since what, like
luchador.
October?
Yeah, the
I
greatest
mean, he's been
luchador
doing
ever.
this.
Well, no,
He's
that's
like
dumb.
it's like Kevin Owens with the bloodline. It's never ending. It's just perpetual punishment for the future of lucha libre, man. It's hard to see, and that's why I'm like, what if he went over to AEW? I could see him having three particularly good matches, not necessarily feuds, but like matches, right? They could become feuds, especially when you're considering. I would like to see him face MJF personally. MJF's got this really good thing going in CMLL right now. CMLL, obviously, Dragon Lee had a lot of history within that promotion with Los Ingobernables Originales. Um, MJF currently feuding with Mystico. I think they could have some real banger matches. I think Dragon Lee could, stand up for Lucha Libre, as they say. On that note, I think he'd also have a really good match with Rush. Wants to be. And hopefully it'd be a good brother versus brother match, unlike the Usos at 40. I don't actually know if Rush and Dragon Lee have had a match against each other. I'd have to do some research on that.
Are they,
But I
are
think
they
it'd be great.
Shoot brothers?
They're Shoot brothers, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Dragon Lee is Rush's younger brother.
Is it Rush or is it Roosh?
Droosh.
Roosh.
Okay.
Well, yeah, if you want to be, phonetically correct, I suppose.
You don't want to sound ignorant.
Yeah, certainly not. Don't want to come off as
Ignorant.
privileged.
You're all ignorant.
Lastly, I think Speedball and Mike Bailey would have a really good match with Dragon Lee. I don't know, just kind of they both got that like gimmicky around like the Orient kind of style about them. They're both obviously very, very talented wrestlers in their own right as well.
The Orient.
Uh, the Orient, well, sorry, that might have been a McMahonism. I
Wow. All
apologize.
right. Remember
You know
what I
what?
said
Damn it!
about
You know what I'm trying to
what I
say.
said about being ignorant before? My God.
Well, okay. Well,
Speaking of McMahon,
how would you say it?
to I would say they're flippy boys. But speaking of McMahon, did you guys see that the TMZ thing? That man looks like he's aged like 30 years and has had every plastic surgery that he could.
Oh, God.
What else is he gonna do when he can't work for 20 hours out of the day?
You got to spend that money on something other than talent who you're inevitably going to harass or
NBA.
bully or right. He's
Anyway,
got to go to something.
to go back to it, Brandon, I do like that pick. I think that's a good pick. But if I could give like a reason why it's not, I think he has two ceilings: the TNT title, or he gets roped in a tag team with somebody else. Like, I think he would
Hologram.
thrive in AEW, but
Oh, God.
he'd hit a ceiling pretty quick.
Yeah, not a
Yeah,
whole
it's
lot of
hard to say.
respect to lucha wrestlers in AEW to date, to be honest.
I mean, I think they're doing pretty okay. I mean, they're at least getting pretty consistent feature.
In what, 64 million peso matches?
Yeah, literally, that's it.
Well, and the Ring of Honor World Championship.
Yeah,
That means nothing.
that's worse than a 64 million peso match.
At least you're still getting fucking paid in a $64 million peso match.
Yeah.
Hey-o.
Fuck.
Oh, Lordy.
So are we going back and forth with this? Do I go next, or are you giving all three right away?
No, I mean, we can go back and forth with it if it makes sense. I think
All right.
maybe we could do that.
Well, Donnie, do you want to take it, or would you like me to?
Sure, I have a pretty constant theme with the ones that I have going to AEW. And I mean, just to give an idea of where I'm going with, I don't really want to send people from WWE to AEW that haven't reached the mountaintop. So anyone that I'm sending over to AEW is someone who's been successful in WWE and could use a refresh. So my first one would be Bailey. I think Bailey's been really floundering on WWE television for a number of years now. Even like the peak with her winning the women's championship at WrestleMania. That build to that feud was good, and then everything else since then has been very mediocre, in my opinion.
I would agree.
She's won it all. She's won tag titles. She's won the main title both in NXT and in WWE. She hasn't won a mid card title, but quite frankly, I think she's above that regardless. Send her to AEW. Obviously, immediate feud with Mercedes. But there's plenty of other talent you could pair her with there too.
Her and Tony
I think
Storm
that's
would
fair.
tear it up.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it would definitely put a lot of eyes on her if you put her with Mercedes, whether that be in a feud or as a team. I know there's been rumor over at AEW about kind of piloting a women's tag team championship division, which, I mean, frankly, I'm very surprised they haven't gotten that up yet with all the belts they keep throwing out every other fucking week. But Bailey, I feel like if you're talking about like career resurgences, I feel like AEW would be a really solid option for her. A lot of fresh opponents.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if after her contract, I'm gonna throw out a curveball. I would like to see the Usos go to AEW,
Ooh.
and it's not that Jimmy and Jay are not thriving. They are. I mean, Jay is still one of the most over, if not the most over dudes on the roster, and Jimmy is always fucking just clutch when it comes to it. But I would like to see a return of the Usos tag team. They would probably just be the Fatus in AEW, of course, but I mean, you have to run Usos, Young Bucks. Them versus Private Party would be great. I mean, I would just like to see them tear it up, and I would like to see them have a real feud and match with FTR, because when they did it in WWE, it was a comedy feud, and it sucked. But having those two guys, all four of those men, go out and tear it down like they could, it would be quality television.
I mean, the FTR feud was effectively what ran FTR out of WWE, was it not? Or at least it was a prime reason for them jumping ship.
So there was a thing that came online, like a picture of them wearing like a big clock and goofy colors, and
Yeah.
that feud was going to be the catalyst to that. And when they were presented that, they're like, "This is a joke. Like this is a rib, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Caused them to want to leave because
Yeah, they really did.
They wanted tag team wrestling to be a forefront and to be good in WWE. And the man at the time did not care for tag team wrestling. So,
yeah, not the main roster man anyway. The tag team division was thriving in NXT around that time, though. At least I believe that was around the time.
It's thriving again now.
Yeah. Let's see. Is it my turn, or do you have more? Do you want to throw on that?
No, I'm passing the ball to you because that's all I really had for the Usos.
Okay. I mean, so as far as guys who probably could stand to use a little bit more feature, probably would fit the style in AEW a bit better, I would think Apollo Crews. I know he's currently injured, and he's been, frankly, an afterthought for quite a while, but he's exceptionally talented. Like, he's one of those rare combinations of power and athleticism and agility that, I mean, at least it was rare. I feel like you have a lot of guys these days who are very surprising in that regard, right? But Apollo Crews has been that way consistently for quite a long time, over a decade, I want to say. He had really great work in Dragon Gate, what got him noticed to get him into NXT. Not Ring of Honor, like, Baron Corbin would have wanted you to believe. But on that note, I mean, a match against Ricochet would be sweet. They were in a stable together called Monster Express. And I really, really was hoping for a reunion because it would have been him being Apollo Crews, Ricochet, and Akira Tozawa. And Tozawa could have easily been the personality of that group at the time. I mean, Ricochet found his shit in AEW, I guess. But yeah, I mean, if Ricochet was the personality in a feud with Apollo, that'd be pretty sweet. And just for them, I know they would have chemistry together based on their history and similar style. On that note, I think match against like Beast Mordos or Brian Cage would also be super sweet. Just big old fucking flippy beef boys going at it. And Apollo Crews smiling all the while.
I like that pick. When Apollo was signed, he was pretty much thought of as the next big thing, and he never reached those heights because he was brought up way too early. He needed a few more months, maybe even a year longer in NXT to cook. So I think a reset for him becoming Uhaa Nation would be quite interesting.
One Man Nation, yeah. Don Man.
I actually really like Pierce's Usos pick. I had a different tag team in mind, and that's the New Day.
Ah,
The New Day is another team that I feel has won everything they need to in WWE for the most part. Certainly as tag team champions, and Kofi's been WWE champion as well. Um, really a big gap in creative direction over the last few years, and they tried the heel turn, which landed okay initially, but ever since then has been flat at best. If Big E is not coming back, I think Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods would make a lot of sense to go to AEW. Obvious tag team feud there with FTR. There's history there, but you know, the what are they called? Fuck, here I am showing how much I watch AEW
do
television
they
right
hurt
now. But
people?
the Hurt people,
The Hurt Syndicate.
Hurt Syndicate,
Hurt
thank you,
people, hurt people.
Hurt people. But yeah, there's matches there that make a lot of sense, and they could use some revitalization as well. And they're not past their prime either, I don't think. So
Uh-uh.
I'd say the New Day.
Good
Solid.
show.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be my last one because we did talk about Bailey, but I'm throwing another curveball. I would like to see the reigning world heavyweight champion Seth Rollins go to AEW,
Oh,
and
yeah?
I think you just have dream match city with anybody you could ask for. I think his character, like Seth freaking Rollins, probably Tyler freaking Black over there versus MJF would be insane. Kenny Omega versus Seth. I mean, Swerve Strickland versus Seth, Hangman versus Seth. But I think the biggest feud that they could do, and a callback from when Seth was a dickhead on Twitter, you run Seth Rollins versus Will Ospreay.
Huh.
Oh boy,
Yeah, surely nothing goes off the rails in that.
nope.
I'd be I'd be very, very curious to see what direction Seth Tyler's Black Rollins' character would take, because I feel like Rollins is definitely, and it was obvious from the onset, right, when he was the first ever NXT champion onwards, that they had a very, very steady hand behind how Rollins was too memorable from Ring of Honor. Like, obviously, there was the potential that they saw in him,
He was Ring of
but
Honor
he
World
was
Champ. They ran almost the exact same storyline as the Summer of Punk with Tyler Black.
right. But obviously, like, I guess that's my point, right? Like, thinking back, it's hard to, unless you're really looking at it like that, it's hard to draw that connection because Punk just didn't have the same kind of natural charisma, I don't think, that Punk had. I mean, very few people do. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like Rollins is definitely like a WWE creation by and large. I mean, the clay was there, but they definitely molded him over the years. So it's kind of like with Edge, right? Like, you're almost curious to, or Cope, whatever you want to, if you want to use the old elite name, but be very curious to see like how, if at all, he would morph in a new environment, given that he's been in WWE for what, almost 15 years now.
Mm.
Something like that.
But let's see. I think I got Uno Mas. So what I did with mine is I tried to make it so like one from Raw, one from SmackDown, one from NXT, just to kind of keep it diversified a little bit. Donnie, you might hate this one, but Sol Ruka, I could see being a pretty big star over in AEW. And I think there's a lot of potential for her over there with opponents like Willow, obviously Athena. I mean, Athena can have a good match with just about anybody. And then you have kind of a wild card match. Excuse me, I got to do this. Pardon me.
No, you
Really?
didn't. You did
Really?
not need to do that.
I warned you.
You could have.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, fellas. I ruined the show. Actually, I'm going to save it here because I'm going to tell you this. I think Sol Ruca versus Penelope Ford in a straight fight would be super solid. I think Sol Ruca, like with her athleticism, if you put her in that kind of a condition, I'm trying to think if she had any similar such matches in NXT. But I'd be really excited to see her and Penelope tear it up.
All right. I like it. I think,
Soul's got a lot of room, I think, in WWE to go.
yeah,
That I don't see that happening at all.
Right.
Just because like she's very highly regarded on NXT right now.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
I would expect a rocket ship to be strapped to her as soon as she comes onto the main roster, similar to what we've seen with Stephanie LeClaire. So
Yeah. Yeah. Can't argue with you.
I I, I,
No, I
I
guess.
I get your point on that it would be good matches. I don't disagree, but I think there's a lot of good matches that she could have without going anywhere that doesn't need to really consider it.
I guess just on her thing, on her front too, I wonder like how she would stand out amongst the innumerable women stars that they currently have and that they will have in the next year or two. Because
He is very
presumably Stephanie
clearly the
LeClaire.
most acrobatic, aerodynamic, whatever you want to say. Like there's no moveset like her in on the main roster. It's
nope.
very
True.
unique. So I think she fits a role just fine doing what she's doing, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fair assessment.
Mm.
I roll with that.
Um, yeah, I think Seth was an interesting one too to call out. He's a lifer in WWE. I don't ever see him going anywhere, but I don't disagree that there'd be a lot of good quality matches that he would have with the sports entertainment shackles off, so to speak. My last one, I had a toss up between two names here. Both of these names were again people that have had a lot of success in WWE, been there a long time, could use a refresh. I would be sad to see this one go, but it makes sense considering his connections in AEW. That would be Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has so many connections to the Young Bucks and the other guys that have been through various promotions in and around AEW that he could really just let go in his last couple of years. I don't know that his health would warrant him wanting to make that switch.
Right.
It tends to be a much riskier match style
I
there that he
You
mean,
could
might
ask
not be
Adam Cole
comfortable
about
with
that one.
that. But he would make a lot of sense. He doesn't need to win anything else in WWE. He's been a one-time champion.
one-time
Yeah.
world champ, which is absolutely fucking insane.
I mean, not like for lack of trying, he's definitely been on the chase for
He,
years.
I think realistically, he's been the most consistent performer in WWE for the past decade.
Yeah, you know what you get with Kevin Owens. The other person that I would have said in there really quickly to sneak in a fourth one would be Sheamus. Same reason.
Okay.
Solid. Very.
If Donnie did not steal my third pick so rudely early on, if I had a third pick, Kevin Owens would be it. I mean,
Ah,
you could run the Mount Rushmore wrestling back, even without Adam Cole, unfortunately. But there's just he knows those guys so well. Kevin, I would love to hear Kill Steen kill once again. There's just so much you could do with him. But I guess I'll start off AEW to WWE if that works for you guys.
yeah.
Sure.
The number one most obvious, Kenny Omega. I mean, you have a ready-made story for WrestleMania for next year, even him versus AJ Styles, the match we were promised but never have gotten from when Kenny took the reins of Bullet Club back in 2016. I mean, you could run Kenny versus Seth. Kenny versus Cody is another really good story to run. I mean, in the WWE, and he has so little time left in his career. Realistically, I mean, I'd see him probably reaching the mountaintop pretty damn quick and being a WWE champion within his first year.
Yeah. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to keep it off of him, frankly. I mean, you were seeing how he performs in AEW currently, even with his recent history and everything, he's still doing A+ work, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was a pick for me, so I agree
Haha.
full
Got your
heartedly.
back, motherfucker.
It's fine. I'll steal one of yours when it comes back to me.
He was a pick. All right, Migo.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so I guess I think more of like people who haven't really made it big. So it may be a little bit ironic that I say Big Bill should get one last run in the E. And I mean, he's definitely been improving a lot on the stick, I feel like, since he's been in AEW. Not like he was bad in WWE, by any stretch, but he's definitely been improving. Um, I'd like to see him brawl with the big boys that are over there, like your Talatongas, your Shamos, right? I feel like him and Sheamus could have a pretty sizable banger. And just for wild cards in there, just because, you might have a little bit of family, very extended family drama, maybe a bit of feud with Tony D, just to kind of liven that scene up a little bit. But yeah, they lost one of their big, close to 7 foot boys in Braun Strowman. I feel like Big Bill, with his history and experience, definitely could fill that gap very nicely.
Okay. It's a good pick.
Okay.
One that was definitely not on my radar. My list. I mean, we already had Kenny Omega brought up as someone who could get brought over and would not be hated by CM Punk, which is relevant. So, I think of people that are absolute peak of the wrestling business that haven't had a WWE moment, so and would thrive in a more sports entertainment setting. And it goes without any sort of saying whatsoever that MJF would be echelons, better for WWE related television, and likely would hit a dream of his ever since he was a child to be, main event of WrestleMania. MJF is a
Hmm.
no-brainer for me.
He was on my short list, but he's such an obvious and easy pick. Like it's MJF and then everybody else more or less.
Yep, I had to say it. Like you can't have this discussion without bringing him up. So
Right?
I think
Yeah, you're not.
realistically, out of the people we've talked about, he's the one that'll probably end up in WWE at least one day.
I would assume so.
Well, consider. I mean, what, he's 27, 28 years old right now.
He's
So
29.
I mean, oh, but I mean, even then, like he's still got an entire career ahead of him. You figure, I mean, let me ask you this: do you see MJF still in AEW a decade from now when
No,
he's 39?
no,
Nope.
I do not see him
Right.
renewing his contract
Exactly.
again with AEW. Whatever the terms of this contract are, which he would have signed last year. So my guess is that he'll be gone by 2030 at the latest.
Hmm. I think that's fair. I
Good
think,
show.
yeah, I think that's. I mean, too, even if MJF makes great money with Tony Khan, like there's some things that matter more than money. If you got the money, like chase the fucking dream at that point. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely.
And he's got plenty of stories to tell. If it was like he gets traded today, you can finish the CM Punk story. You got Cody. There's so many people he could feud with. Like it's
I mean, hell,
him and
LA Knight
Tom would
even
be
too.
insane. Like, yeah, MJF is probably the number one choice for all of us if we're being realistic. But to go to my number two choice, I would like to see Swerve Strickland make a return to the WWE, now fully realized as Swerve. He was great as Isaiah Swerve Scott, but like he never really got to show it on the main roster because he got brought up and then he got released right away.
Hmm.
And with how AEW has grown Swerve from, just he moved over. He had that tag team with Keith Lee, and then everything after that, he just exploded and became. I mean, he was our what was it? Our Ope Awards. He was our superstar of the year, and that was for a fucking reason. Like he's incredible. He's great on the mic. He's great in the ring. You have, I mean, him and Seth Rollins would be great. Him and Cody. I I mean, I could I think him and Randy Orton would tear it up. Like those two, just maniacal, crazy people in a feud would be just insanely fun.
Yeah, hard to disagree with that. I mean, it's a shame that Swerve's kind of pretty much anchored in by at this point, at least from what he said in interviews. Like, I think that's where he's kind of made his bed now is in AEW. And that's fine because he is an absolute standout. He's one of the biggest stars on the program and stands to be for a considerable length of time. So, I mean, I see him easily becoming AEW champion again. Um, Hopefully, has a great run with that. I'm not like his last run was bad by any stretch, but I mean,
Even for
we
how
could,
short it was, he had one of the best AEW World Title runs in my eyes.
sure, hard to argue. Um, Taking a look here, I think they're still on the roster. The Von Erichs, Ross and Marshall Von Erich. I'd like to see them. At the very least, I'd like to see them start in like an NXT situation, right? Um, they could face off against like a Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights kind of a team. Really something to test their mettle and put their names on the map. I mean, they're already Von Erich, so depending on who you ask, right? I mean, they're kind of a dated dynastic name at this point. The Von Erichs haven't been right, but that was kind of, neither here nor there. But I mean, these are two relatively, 36 and 34, I think they both are, but like relatively young dudes in the scheme of a lot of the main event players in pro wrestling right now. Um, I think they could do to develop in NXT, really get their characters solid, their in-ring work solidified for main roster fare. Um, Matches against guys like Los Garza, I think would blow the house down. I think Los Garza definitely got a great outing uh, in Triple Mania Regia because they got the actual Triple Mania coming up on the 16th. But yeah, when they won the AAA tag team titles for the first time, they had a stellar fucking performance. And it's not like they weren't ever talented. They've always been talented. But them as a team now catching fire in Mexico, I feel like showing that talent and testing the Von Erichs definitely would be really cool to see. Also, um, if they were to face a team like the New Day, right? And the New Day, while they are kind of a shadow of what they used to be, and frankly, it's going to be hard to keep that standard up for. I mean, they had that standard for the longest time, but they still definitely are one of the flag bearers in tag team wrestling in WWE. And I feel like with their personality kind of contrasting the Von Erich, entertaining TV. And if assuming they got the polish, right, then I could see them both having great matches together. Um, yeah, and then, the Von Erichs being a dynastic tag team. Whereas the New Day are very much like they were just kind of, I don't want to say they were cobbled together, right? But they came together and they bet on themselves and they benefited immensely from it. They are arguably the greatest tag team of this generation and perhaps even the previous. So I think that would be really cool to see the Von Erichs kind of coming into their own against a team like the New Day. That's my bid on that.
Okay. Um, Going back to Pierce's Swerve Strickland, I see him as honestly the 1A, 1B scenario of the people that have made the most successful move from WWE to
Completely
AEW.
fair.
And the 1B is someone else who I would have going back to WWE to prove their worth, and that's Toni Storm. Toni Storm got the shit end of the deal when she was with WWE. Her NXT run was something that happened, and her main roster run was no better. Despite having one high profile feud with Charlotte Flair, it was not well received. And due to the bizarre storyline they set up with Cream
No.
It's no fault of
Pies
Tony.
on
That
that
was
one.
that was because one man saw Charlotte above everybody else.
Yeah, so, but now that she's established who she is, that really leans again into the sports entertainment piece a lot that I said similar to MJF. Toni Storm going back, proving her worth, and being one of the top women in WWE makes a lot of sense to me.
Well, I'd love
I
to see
agree.
a run back of a Rhea Ripley feud. I mean, granted, they kind of were the pillars of the NXT UK women's division back when they were kicking that off. But since then, man, they are two completely different people than what they used to be. And they've evolved so much. They are the pinnacles of women's wrestling right now. I mean, you talk about a dream match, these two Aussie chicks coming back together and just ham fisting each other. You know what I mean? Phrasing. But I would love to see a Rhea Tony match. I think that would be one for the record books for sure.
Absolutely agree. For my final pick, I would like to see Willow Nightingale go through the NXT system and then make her way to the main roster. I think she is great. She is very she's well regarded in AEW for good reason. But I think if you ever want to make a female John Cena ever in WWE, Willow is the right person to do it.
I've heard Bianca referred to as the female John Cena in the past. Maybe not as much now, but
I'm talking not in the sense of Bianca where it's Bianca Winslow. I'm talking as a true blue baby face for their entire career minus 6 months at the end.
yeah, Willow fits that mold. I definitely agree with that. She was also my pick, you jerk. That would have been my last.
I think she would thrive in WWE. I think she's done almost all she could in AEW minus winning the world championship, but I don't know if she'll ever get that shot. So I think a run through NXT and then whatever's next after that, she would thrive.
I mean, I think Willow's got as good a shot as anyone at, eventually getting a shot at the women's championship. I mean, she's got a lot of competition, obviously, but like you said, she's definitely a fan favorite, and it could come to a point where she's just over enough and she's been consistent enough where they put her in with the Tony Storms and the Mercedes Monets, and who will see who else is over there, right? I mean, it's kind of like we said, like Bayley could even show up there at any point in time. I mean, in WWE, I would love to see her face like a Jordan Grace or like an Asuka, someone that would really bring that side out of her that, just surprises people. Yeah, I mean, just kind of adding on to your pick there, Pierce. Otherwise, I was going to kind of wild card it and jump onto a little bit of public sentiment that went out when Michael Cole went on record and said that Taz was his favorite broadcast partner ever. Could you imagine Taz and Cole, Taz coming back for one more run in the E behind the booth and calling matches with Michael Cole as he is now in 2025? That would be unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I mean, he's certainly better than most of their other announced desk. So that'd be fun.
Absolutely. Don, did you have any other wild cards?
Well, yeah, that's my fourth one, I guess now technically. I'm gonna throw Brody King in there. I think he's a guy that has the physical tools to succeed in WWE. Hasn't really been given much of an opportunity to do much in AEW. He was part of a faction that no longer exists. He's maybe had how many title opportunities has this guy had since he's been in singles titles opportunities has he had since he's been in AEW? I feel like that number is definitely can be counted on one hand and might only be once or twice.
He's had at least one world title match.
Yeah, it's frankly, I think he's capable of being a bigger player. I know AEW tends to prefer their work rate people more than their size people in general. We've seen, so he kind of gets left behind. Same thing with Powerhouse Hobbs. He'd be another one that I could put in that same kind of category, but either one of them I think would thrive in WWE television.
Yeah, and I mean too, Brody's a size guy, yeah, but I mean you can't really ignore his work rate either. And on that note, I feel like he could have a Keith Lee kind of a presence, kind of like how when he was in NXT, and unfortunately he didn't really get the whole main roster train behind him. But I feel like Brody King in WWE.
Hey, Bearcat beat Randy Orton, okay?
That was pre-Bearcat. That was pre-Bearcat.
That does not sound like something the Bearcat would do. I couldn't see the Bearcat beating Randy Orton.
Okay, maybe the Bearcat didn't beat Randy Orton, but Keith Lee did beat Randy Orton.
Yes.
He almost beat Roman Reigns, too.
Yeah, we're going to get a new star. And then Vince is like, no, he's too big, and we're going to make him wear a dress.
Call him Bearcat.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
And ruin
Yeah,
his
we can't
fucking
bask in
music.
any glory
Don't
too
forget
much
that.
around Keith Lee, unfortunately. Not when Vince McMahon's in charge.
How do you fucking ruin Keith Lee? Like, I don't get it.
Dude's a godsend, man.
Now, how do you ruin Karrion Kross? Put him in a BDSM outfit.
That's worse.
Just
That
walk your way.
That was rough.
Same era.
Yeah. That was a very low point. And then you had the fact that they didn't put the belt on Braun Strowman around that time either when he was fucking hot as a neutron star, bro.
Well,
No,
Roman had to look real strong.
He did win the title around then. That was Thunderdome era, more or less, and he won
Well,
the
yeah,
title.
that was after the fact. That was when he was starting to he wasn't as hot as he was.
Well, you're saying
when he
around the
should-
same time, but he literally at the time of Bearcat and BDSM Cross, he did
Let's be
win
honest, the years of
Championship.
2017 to 2020 WWE late era Vince kind of all mesh together because all it is Roman and Charlotte in the main event scene for the most part.
And The Fiend. Yes.
But not The Fiend. That guy can go fuck himself.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm sure Cody had a few choice words for him when he saw his lack of work ethic and, pride in his work. Something like this, probably.
Go fuck yourself!
That's how I wanted to feel after that WrestleMania main event.
Man, I really should make a Fiend button on this.
No, you shouldn't.
I should. I have one more sound I can add, and I haven't thought of the right one yet.
I advise against
My
it,
laptop
Donnie.
is
That sounds
going.
terrible.
Yeah. I think we need a Fiend button.
Oh, you do have one more.
Yeah, just hit Fiend. That'd be fun.
My laptop will go through a goddamn window.
Yeah, I don't want to
holding
risk
out.
getting copyright claimed. I know, like, the On This Day thing, we have dodged copyrights on that. But, if I say Fiend 3 times in a row, that's like Beetlejuice, right?
Basically,
And Travis Scott shows up and slaps you in the face.
Bursts my eardrum.
Yeah.
Waves
luckily,
some
I have
sage
my
around.
receipts. Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, that's covers all our picks, yes?
Oh, yeah. That's what I had.
All right.
Thanks for playing along, fellas.
That was fun.
I like a little bit of thought experiments. I like a little bit of, what if,
What do we got next week?
Let's take a peek.
I know Heat
So
Wave
NXT
is next weekend, yeah.
NXT Heatwave is coming up. It's a couple other things here. Let me pull up the old sketty. Ba-ba-da-boop-ba-boo.
Normally wouldn't have
Doobada-bop-bop.
an NXT PLE cover the whole show, but if that's what we've got, that's what we've got.
No, it's predicts for Heatwave and Forbidden Door.
Oh, Forbidden Doors next weekend.
It's going to be coming up, yeah. So
Okay, I
think it's the
about that.
20. Yeah, it's the 25th. I want to say.
Yeah, it's not going to be competing against Clash, so yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, so Forbidden Door and Heatwave predictions.
And
All right.
Heatwave.
Sweet.
That sounds good to me. Donnie, got anything else?
I do not.
Brandon?
We made it to 50. And I'm pretty happy about that.
50. 2 more weeks, it'll be a full.
We'll celebrate.
We'll celebrate. I'll have a couple brewskis. Donnie will have a couple brewskis. Brandon will have a couple 2-treat brewskis.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
More treating too.
To celebrate with us, we appreciate it. Follow us on all socials and make sure to catch the show on YouTube and Spotify. As always, usually every Thursday, the new episodes drop. As always, thanks for stopping in the Ope 3-Way. Have a beer on us, and we'll see you next time. Have a good night.